And she will tell all and sundry that I have never gotten her back, and it's true. I'm terrible at pranking people, like thinking of pranks, and Brita is such an overachiever in that regard that there's nothing I can do that she'd be like, oh, nice. I tried to make a bunch of people believe that she had a baby, like a pet sloth that died before she came to a con. She didn't care. Didn't move her at all. She might as well have shown up wearing the damn thing as a coat. Yeah, I failed. So I'm like, you know what, you've won. And she pranked me again, by the way, at a con, the first con we played together after this prank, like a year had passed. Yes. And she decided, she's like, I just want to let you know before we do this con, I'm going to prank you again. I'm like, well, why? She's like, because I figure you're going to prank me, and so I'm going to really prank you, and, I love you. Your love hurts. So she pranked me during opening ceremonies by serenading me with her own unique version, written for me, of Send in the Clowns. Which you can view on YouTube if you're so inclined. I hate clowns with every breath of my lungs. So, you, Contra.
Yes, finally.
Yes, that's not a question, that's an exclamation.
What are the most embarrassing stuff that ever happened to you that you regret ever going through again?
Like ever in my life?
Yes.
It's rather personal. So sneaky, no one saw you do that. He just comes over here and goes, you're wonderful. That's his job. God, I've had some really embarrassing things happen to me in my life. The one that came up recently. My whole life has been like just one embarrassing thing after the other. Because I'm a big goofy guy and a lot of ridiculous things just happen around me. Sometimes it's my fault, sometimes it's not. I will tell you this though. If ever you want to dress up for Halloween, say in your mid-20s, as I was when this happened, if indeed it did happen, I can neither confirm nor deny. If you ever want to dress up as like a great classic villain, like say Fu Manchu from the old days, the guy with the Fu Manchu and like with the box hat and everything, he was a favorite like pulp villain of mine when I was a kid. So I thought, oh my God, I'm totally gonna dress up for him for Halloween. If you do the same thing and you go all out and you have like the makeup and the dress, not the dress, but the I forget what they call it now. It's not a kimono, it's something else, but it's a man's ceremonial garb, a very, very, very Chinese thing, beautiful thing that I had gotten. And I had the claws, and I had the box hat and the mustache like waxed on. When everyone in your group who's going out to a block party that night suggests you go out for dinner, don't go to a Chinese restaurant. That would be a mistake. I didn't think of it. We'd been out all evening. I'm like, God, we're hungry. Let's just pop into here. And it was close, and we go in, and we're sitting there, and I'm halfway through the meal before everyone starts going, oh my God, you're dressed like a horrible racial stereotype. No, I'm not. That's Fu Manchu. He's like a villain from, oh my God. So I'm like, can I just like suddenly take pieces of this outfit off while I'm sitting here? The funniest thing about it is that, this was a genuine Chinese restaurant, so all the guys that worked there were Chinese and very wonderful and ingratiating. But they kept coming up to us, and like after they realized I was terribly embarrassed, they thought it was hysterical. And so they were like, can we get a picture with you? So they made me stand up against their wall and took a picture of me, this giant 6'4" guy. All of them are like 4 feet. And I'm like, That picture is still on the wall of this place because I went there just a few weeks ago and I hadn't been in a while. I'm like, oh my God, that picture is still That was enormously embarrassing. It's because I meant nothing by it. I'm just going as a villain, I remember, and I end up going and I'm like, oh, I just insulted everyone in here. I'm sorry. Let's see, I have time for a couple more questions because our time is winding down. I see a CO there in the back, I believe.
What's your biggest pet peeve?
My biggest pet peeve? Ooh. I have a lot of those. I think my biggest, it's a verbal tick. Some people can't help it, and it's actually classified now as a verbal tick, but there are people that do it, and for the longest time, it's not such a big thing for me anymore, but for the longest time, you could be the cutest, most beautiful specimen in the world, and if you spoke like this, I'd be like, oh, turn it off, can't deal with you, sorry. It's people that, or not just people, it's when you say a statement, like something declarative, but you end it like a question. that drives me crazy. Like, we all know people that do that, and we all do it ourselves sometimes. But it's people who tend to talk like this. And I think I don't like it, and I think the reason I don't like it, it's not because of the person, it's because it makes me feel like this poor person is so like ashamed of talking that they're asking for continual approval for everything they're saying. That's the impression I get. Like they're just sort of fielding everything they say, and I'm like, oh, just come out with it! Insult me, I don't care, just blah! Just make a statement! Stop asking me! That's a pet peeve. I also don't like people that just don't like stuff because they're convinced they're not going to like it. Like people are like, oh, I'm not going to eat this because I know I would hate it. Have you tried it? No, I just know myself. No, you don't! No, you don't! Shut up and eat it! Don't eat it, and when you try it, you're not going to try it like this. Don't go... Just go, okay, and then decide. So people like that bugs me. I hate when people just hate stuff because they're like, well, I know I would hate that, so I'm going to hate that. I'm like, that's a conscious decision. That's not a reaction. Like it. I have time for one more question because the people are standing here like with their arms folded at me. So let's you with a big smiley face. Why not?
We all know how much of a big Doctor Who fan you are, and I also heard that you had the opportunity to meet Alex Kingston, who played River Song, and Dr. Who played Captain Jack.
I did.
What was it like getting the opportunity to meet those nice people?
Okay, first of all, it was awesome. Let me say, I owe meeting Alex Kingston to all of you people. Because I was in Miami, in fact, here in Florida, for a convention, SuperCon, where she was, and she was signing at a table near me, and she's beautiful in person. As gorgeous as she is on the screen, she's even more just radiant in person. And I love her work. I love her and Doctor Who, and she's so gracious with fans. It was really cool to just watch her do her thing. This was the first con she was playing stateside, too, so I'm like, oh my god, this is really great to be part of it. And I thought, I don't know if I'm going to get I don't know if I have the guts to just go up to her and say hi and all that, because I'm really, really shy around, around other celebrities, I guess. I'm just like, but it just so happened that I got word from my liaison, who was friends with her liaison, that she wanted to meet me. And the reason apparently she wanted to meet me is because all of my fans who were coming to my autograph line were then jumping into her autograph line and pimping me the hell after her. Oh my god, that guy over there is the biggest Doctor Who fan and he totally loves you. You've totally got to meet him. That's a British accent for you. So I met her and in the lounge later on, and she was like, oh, you're Michael. Okay, do the accent, let's hear it. And I'm like, oh, hi.